Now, window areas can look a bit boring, a little bit drab. A great way to make them look better is adding in Venetian blinds. They look amazing, and it's a great way to actually have a focal point on your window, at the same time providing a blind for you. Now, I'm going to take you through all the steps from measuring, ordering, cutting them to size, and installation. It really is easy to do. Now, there's two types of installation here. You can have it sitting inside the window cavity, which is a recess or a reveal, or you can have it sitting on the outside where it overlaps the window frame area. Don't worry about those additional measurements. The guys at Builders will work all that out for you. Now, the first thing you need to do is measure the opening cavity of the window area. You need to do 3 horizontal measurements and 3 vertical measurements. Start at the top, middle, and bottom, and then keep the shortest measurement for the horizontal, and likewise for the vertical, 3 measurements, and keep the longest measurement. When you are measuring, measure in millimeters to give an accurate size of that window area. Now, take those measurements down to the guys at Builders. They'll see what's available on the shelf. Alternatively, they'll have your blinds custom made to suit the style that you require. Now, when you do get your blinds back, it comes in a full kit with all the screws, brackets, and the blinds, everything you need to install it in place. The only thing you do need to have is the tools. The tools that I'm going to use: a tape measure, a pencil, a hammer, a spirit level, and a hammer drill with a masonry bit to match the size of the anchors supplied. You're drilling into a concrete lintel, which is very hard, so you need a good quality bit suitable for concrete. Now, for this particular blind, I've chosen a blind which is going to be mounted on the outside of the cavity, not on the inside. Therefore, it's got an additional 50 mils overlap on either side, plus an additional 100 mils at the top to accommodate the mechanism. Now, the first thing you need to do is measure the center of the cavity and allow for that 100 mil overlap at the top. Now, the next thing I like to do is make sure that center point is also marked on the blind itself. Right, we have our blinds marked. The next thing to do is to account for our brackets, which are going to hold our rail into position. Now, don't go and measure that on the wall just yet. Rather, put them onto the rail now. That way you can make sure that they're evenly spaced and that they don't interfere with any of the mechanisms. That's quite important. So just open the bracket, and then we're going to slide it in to try and find, but you can see it's fouling and it's interfering with the mechanism. It's clearing all the mechanism. That's going to work fine. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side, hopefully with around about the same sort of spacing. Leave that in its position. Under the next 2. Right, those are the brackets in place. Leave them in position, and this is where we're going to take our whole blind itself, hold it up into position, and then mark the position of each one of the brackets, making sure you're using a spirit level to ensure the blind is level. Now mark the top of the bracket and the center line of where the holes will be drilled. Once your bracket positions are marked, just take your spirit level again and then just hold it across the points and make sure that the blind didn't dip down whilst you're marking it. It's just a double check to make sure that all the points are level. With the position marked, it's now time to drill with a 6mm masonry bit. Remember, I'm using a good quality bit suitable for concrete as I'm drilling into the concrete lintel. Now, a handy hint, when drilling into masonry, it makes a lot of mess. So make use of a vacuum to draw that dust out whilst you're drilling, or alternatively, make use of an old envelope, stick it below the hole and it'll catch all that dust as you start drilling. Now with your holes drilled, take your brackets and mount them making use of the anchor bolts that have been supplied. Pass them through the hole and knock them tightly into position. Now with your brackets all firmly mounted to the wall, it's time now to insert the rail. Line up that center position matching up onto the wall to make sure those brackets don't interfere with your mechanisms. Right, with the rail and blind securely in position, now make use of the plastic clips. Clip those into position and that'll hold that cover which will hide that mechanism rail and just make it look so much nicer. So there you have it, a simple installation of some Venetian blinds that really was easy to do. There's no excuse why you can't give it a go yourself. Remember, everything you need is available at your local builder's outlet. Be sure to check out the video clips on YouTube, Builder's website. There's a range of product reviews, DIYs, and how-tos just like this for you to be inspired, get to Builders, and get it done.